want to start with the universal basic income, because one of the premises of your campaign is that automation, robots, and so forth are decimating the American worker, and so we need a basic income. Yet, if you thought that were playing out, you'd expect to see it in the data with really strong growth, really strong productivity, and sluggish employment. Instead, we seem to see the exact opposite. Unemployment at 3.5%, terrible productivity numbers, weak GDP growth. Why isn't the sort of theory of your case what you see happening on the ground showing up in what anything economists look at?
Well, Joe, if you dig a little deeper, you see that headline unemployment is masking the fact that millions of Americans have left the workforce. Labor force participation is down to 63%, a multi-decade low, and close to the levels of El Salvador and Costa Rica. Because many people have been pushed out of the workforce, they don't see a path forward, and our headline unemployment number masks that. It also masks the fact that many Americans, because they're struggling to find the right opportunities, are working in very low productivity, low wage, low advancement positions, and that's why you're seeing the productivity problems. So to me, the numbers actually tell the right story if you look a little deeper.
One of the things that we've seen President Trump, he's been very critical of his own Fed chair. There was criticism of Obama for not taking the Federal Reserve seriously enough. If you were president, would you reappoint Jerome Powell, or would you look for a Federal Reserve chairman who would dovetail more with what you're doing in terms of getting buying power into the hands of the middle and lower classes?
Well, to me, job one is to get more money directly in the hands of the American people in the form of the universal basic income. And so the Fed primarily is controlling interest rates, which is one piece of the puzzle, but I'm obviously focused more on just direct cash in people's hands, and that to me is the most powerful thing we can do.
But do you worry that if there were an increase in buying power, that the Federal Reserve in its framework would be quicker to hike rates and sort of undermine the GDP growth or the growth that you would like to see as a result of the UBI?
Well, to me, the Fed historically has had a couple of main economic goals, and I don't think those goals are inconsistent with putting money into people's hands at all. And I would trust an independent Fed to be able to make the right call on interest rates.
People love the idea, and polls show it, of getting $1,000 a month. There's a certain undeniable appealing aspect of that. However, I'm not sure if people totally understand. There would be a trade-off. So some people would have to give up existing cash benefits. What would people have to give up in order to be eligible for the freedom dividend, which, as you say, is opt-in? And why make that an opt-in choice? Why not just allow people to keep what they have in terms of cash benefits for things like food stamps and then get an extra $1,000 a month on top of it?
Well, the vast majority of Americans would just see $1,000 a month increase in buying power. The only people that might have to make a choice are people who are receiving direct cash assistance for things like heating oil or food stamps. And in those cases, virtually none of them are getting $1,000 a month right now, so this is a huge win. And when I talk to people who are recipients of these programs, they live in constant fear of losing their benefits, of failing to meet some administrative or reporting requirement. So if they were getting a stress-free $1,000 a month, it would be a massive upgrade. And it also has no negative incentive for them to make more money, because right now our assistance programs are predicated on you being below a certain income level.